Hi, everybody. Hey, happy 2021. First time coming at you since we crossed over into the new year. Let me know how your new year's been so far. It's only been a couple days, but man, I have never been so grateful, I think, to just be done with the year than I was for 2020. And it's really got me thinking about like for 2021, like what is that going to look like for me? What is that going to look like for you? I've been doing more reflecting on, like the past year and just, the past and really like realizing like that we need to start, like just taking charge of our own peace and our own happiness because we've seen like deep and hard, like the world is not always going to be rosy and sunshine. And so we have to really like make, those moments count, like, and, just find the beauty in like the simple things, because the stuff that you can control, because life a lot of times throws you a curveball. And yeah, you just gotta, learn to roll with it. And one thing I was realizing, like, just because I've been dealing, last year was a really tough year for me. I lost my son. So I was dealing with grief and then COVID and, just really going inward. And it's forced me to like start to live a more simpler life. And, that's when you start to really find that like less is actually more. And, I've just been focusing on creating like kind of a peace and harmonious environment. And I realized that it doesn't take much. So I just want to make sure to remind you guys of that. Like even having a couple candles lit, like little stuff like that can make all the difference. Or taking a bath and treating yourself to something special once a week. Because when the more simple that I live life and the more, I clear out the clutter, it's like you can tap into the universal energies easier. And when you do that, you start to kind of tap into just like the rhythms, the flow, right? The universal patterns and rhythms. And it's it makes that's where the peace lies, it's like in the center of that. And I just want to make sure to remind everybody, like, set the intention. At least this is what I'm doing, like for this week, this year, is to just drop the rope, and drop more and more of the resistance. Like the more in tune I get with like myself and the more clearer I get on who I am, the easier it becomes to do that. The more like awareness you have about your energy and how you're using it. Which is probably why I'm such a big fan of human design, because it really helps you understand like who you are at your core and like what you came here to be and to do and to accomplish. And so you can kind of start to like embody that and like learn to kind of ride that wave instead of trying to like wonder why you keep getting hammered, like a brand new surfer out for the first time. But just on the planetary update side, so this is probably going to be a pretty intense week for a lot of us. We've got Mercury conjunct Pluto, which can really make you do some deep thinking. Use it, to your advantage. Good week to get like, some heavy duty thought focused stuff done. And then Mars is entering Taurus and lining up with Uranus. And so that's going to make things like feel really intense. So I don't know, what that looks like, but just want to make you aware of that. So, if you're feeling that, just know it's not necessarily you, it's just kind of what's going on in the background frequency. In human design, we've got the sun moving through gate 38, which is the fighter, and it's the earth is what is grounding that energy in, and the earth will be moving through gate 39, which is the provocateur. And again, just some intense energy. Those are both tied to the adrenal system, and so you can be feeling like, just some pressure some good questions to kind of be thinking about this week. A lot of people are, thinking about intentions and resolutions anyway. So ask yourself, like, what in my life is worth fighting for? Like, what am I really passionate about? It's so important to get clear on that kind of stuff, because when you do, that's where you can put your energy behind the right stuff, and then you start to like eliminate what is just dragging you down. And the same thing with the gate, the provocateur. That's giving you that pressure, that internal pressure to decide, like, what provokes you, what like provokes your spirit, like what inspires you, like what makes you feel alive. um, these two kind of go hand in hand. So, with this deep thinking that's going to be coming in this week, that is going to, I think, really be able to clear out, some solid, vision for 2021 and what you want to accomplish. So let me know if anybody's like got any cool New Year's resolutions, anything interesting. We always had a family tradition, like we really the last probably 10 years, like sat down and just tried to write out, some resolutions with the kids, and not in like a super tight kind of way, like I have to do this by this date, but like, what do you want the theme of your year to be called? Make it like fun. Like, what would be some cool things to accomplish this year? What do I want to let go of? And it's so fascinating, like when you keep them. And I go back now every year, and I just, look at you see how far you've come, and how much your needs and things shift. And it's really fun. It's really fascinating. So for healing tones, I thought it would be cool to, sorry, I'm just messing with my computer here, to let's see, what did I put in here today? I pulled some sacred geometry frequencies into the biofeedback tones that we're going to be doing, just to kind of set. This is, I mean, if you think of your body like a musical instrument, it needs to be tuned. And the more that we can harmonize and get attuned to some of these higher level frequencies, the easier, it will be to tap into the flow of that. And, the whole law of attraction thing, and, it's just, that's how you start to find stuff flowing to you, and it, the magnetism doing the work for you. So you don't have to put in as much effort. Okay. So some sacred geometry, let's see. I put in dimensionality because I thought that really kind of fit in with what I was just talking about, and really getting to the core of who you are. When you read about it, running dimensionality lets you more deeply embrace all the aspects of yourself, particularly the ones that are wonderful but you may not be aware of. So it's about bringing awareness to all of you, which exists in multiple planes and dimensions. The dimensions are not fixed points on a compass. They are a circle, dancing, moving, and expanding constantly. There is constant movement with and between all dimensions. They are fluid. So I think that's just going to be beautiful. And then the circle, because the circle represents a point of completion in cycles, and start of a new beginning. And so that, I think, is very appropriate for as we move into 2021. And then we're going to tune into the gene key activations for the gate 38 and gate 39 of the I Ching. And just to explain, the gene keys are, we all have a genetic code inherent to us. That's what makes us unique. And it's written in, like these series of, clips. And what the gene keys does is it activates the particular amino acids related to these different codes, which are connected to the gates of the I Ching. So let me know if you have any questions on that, but it's pretty cool stuff. I guess the point being is this is activating us at a DNA level, like a genetic level. So it's super cool. The work that you do every week with me, like, will have healing, lasting effects, especially if you do it, over time. And then I mentioned that both of those gene keys are coming out of the root center, which is associated with the adrenal glands. So we'll go ahead and add the adrenal system in just to give it some reinforcement. So with that said, why don't we go ahead and we'll start by just sitting back, starting to take some deep, long breaths, starting to drop into your center, your heart space. And a couple more nice deep breaths, letting your exhale be longer than your inhale. And with this next exhale, go ahead and drop your breath down your legs. Picture your breath dropping out of your feet like roots of a tree into Mother Earth. And you can feel your roots going down deep into the earth, and you feel that groundedness, you feel that centering, and you feel that rich nutrient soil, and you're absorbing all of the energy, the healing, the grounding, the stability that you need to get through your week. And then go ahead and move that breath back up into your heart space. And if you have any thoughts swirling around in your mind, go ahead and picture those thoughts rolling up into a crystal ball. And with this next breath, we're going to drop that ball down into your heart space. The crystal quartz will purify any thoughts and add that light and loving energy so that we can expand our heart space, because that is the area of true receiving. And with that, we'll go ahead and listen to the tones. Oh, how did that sound? I thought that was actually very, very beautiful. It had a very calming effect on me. I would love to hear if anybody had any experiences with that. Um, well, it's so fun doing these updates, and appreciate you guys tuning in. And if you like it, share it out. Please invite anybody into this group, into this space that you think would enjoy it. And I should have showed you guys this before we started the tones and the meditation, but I learned something interesting this week. I had always found that just like naturally, like, when I go to meditate, I would kind of rest, one hand in the other, and do this. That was kind of like my go-to position. And I learned this week that this is the mudra. I guess I'm at a bad angle. This is the mudra of forgiveness, and it's you take the right hand, which is your masculine, and you rest it, cradle it in your left hand, which is the feminine energy supporting the masculine, and healing and forgiving, and put your thumbs together so you kind of can maintain that current. And if you rest that in your lap when you meditate, that's adding that extra intention and that extra energy. So thought I would share that cool little tip with you. And hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Like I said, it might be a little intense, but hey, I mean, we're coming off 2020, so we've survived so much. I'm sure it'll be fine. I will look forward to talking to y'all next Sunday. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.